Welcome back, YouTubers. This is what's the science behind that. Now, as I had last left off, this is part 2 for God's existence. Now, if you think about it, going back to the original point from the end of the first video, the entire universe cannot come from nothing. Now, if you think about it, nothing couldn't bring the universe into existence because nothing produces nothing. Everything that begins to exist must have a cause. Here are a few points I can bring up. Like, for example, the law of conservation of angular momentum, which states, if the Big Bang actually happened, all the planets would swirl in the same direction, but instead they don't. What we actually see is that they spin forwards and backwards, not in the direction of which the Big Bang would have appeared. Now, I mentioned this in an earlier video of how the second law of thermodynamics can actually confirm that energy might actually be eternal. In my video, I state this: just by using general relativity and quantum mechanics, you are forced to conclude that God exists. In another video, which I created titled, Who Created God?, I explain an important piece of the puzzle known as the God particle, or scientifically the Higgs boson, which can, in my opinion, I believe the Higgs boson can actually provide or present physical scientific proof or evidence that God does exist. You can disagree with me if you want, but that's just my opinion on that. Without getting off topic, just one last thing. In recent discoveries, the NASA scientists who believe they found God 17,000 light years away from Earth. This is known as God's right hand. Now, this stardust cloud can offer proof of God's existence. Many believe that to get a solar system like ours with a planet suitable for life wouldn't be that difficult. However, many scientists disagree and have brought overwhelming evidences to support their position. For example, there are many forces in the universe that are precisely balanced, that do such things as like pull matter together. Without these forces, galaxies, planets, and stars would never have been able to form. Many stars expand and contract significantly. However, our sun does not expand or contract. If it did, life on Earth would be catastrophic. Some stars will actually explode violently into a supernova. According to scientific research done by myself, galaxies similar to our galaxy experience a supernova on average about every 26 years. Therefore, if we know approximately how frequently they occur in galaxies similar to ours, the total number of supernova remnants we have in our galaxy should give us an idea of how old the universe is. In looking for the supernova remnants in our own Milky Way galaxy, astronomers have discovered a total of only about 250 supernova remnants. So if a supernova occurs approximately every 26 years, the total of supernova remnants would indicate an age of only around 6,500 years. That's almost identical to the Bible's indication of how long our world has existed. Such a small number of supernova remnants points to an extremely young galaxy, most definitely not millions or billions of years old, but rather only thousands of years old. If scientists were indeed somehow correct about the age of our galaxy, we would expect to see thousands or millions of supernova remnants, not only about 250. That's the first point for you guys, the evolutionists. In order for life to exist, we need to be the correct distance from the sun. If we were a few degrees away from the sun, from the current position, the oceans or the entire Earth would freeze solid, and life on Earth would be impossible. If we were only a few degrees closer from the current position to the Sun, the Earth would be too hot for any life to exist. Earth itself also is the right size. Not too big or too small. We also have the right size moon as well. The moon is primarily responsible for regulating the tides on Earth. These are just a few factors from a very, very, very long list, of which needs to be just right on both the cosmic level and the Earth's local level in order to have a planet that could even attempt to support life. If you slightly alter any of these factors, life on Earth would be impossible. All forms of life on Earth are dependent upon each other as well. Examples are insects and plants, for example, such as bees and pollen-bearing plants. If either the plant or the bees evolved before the other, they would not survive. Therefore, they must have come into existence at the exact same time. The Earth's ocean's basin and atmosphere have just the right mixture and balance of gases as well. If these gases were changed in any way, animal life and vegetation on Earth would die. Evolutionists have absolutely no explanation whatsoever for why the Earth, unlike other planets, has such an incredible amount of water. Our planet is also rich in oxygen as well. If the current oxygen level of 21% were just a few percent higher, the atmosphere could become unstable and explode. Yep. Earth has a magnetic field. Without the solar wind, without it, the solar wind would blow our atmosphere away. Earth's atmosphere blocks harmful sunlight, while at the same time, it allows sunlight that is useful for life. Alright. Plants require a larger amount of a large amount of sunlight to exist. And a human's being richest source by far for vitamin D is sunlight. Yep. When sunlight hits the sky, vitamin D is produced by the body. A lack of vitamin D has been linked to several different types of health issues. Earth's atmosphere also happens to be transparent. This conveniently allows us to view other planets, stars, and things like eclipses. A total solar eclipse is only possible because the sun is 400 times larger than the moon. Than the Earth. Sorry about that. The result is that during a total solar eclipse from Earth, the sun and the moon appear to be the exact same size, creating the perfect match. And it's only because of these total solar eclipses that we have been able to make scientific discoveries that could otherwise have never been made. Evolutionists believe that the sun and Earth and moon formed in our solar system, that they came into existence about 4.5 billion years ago. But the moon is moving farther away from the Earth each year. So if the moon were too far away or too close to the Earth, at the time humans existed, observations on Earth would have never see the event of a total solar eclipse. Okay. That ends video number 2. Catch me for video number 3. Yeah, ciao YouTube.